Her breath caught. Her heart hammered frantically in her chest. Tomorrow! Tomorrow her Daniel, her only son, would be standing at the altar. A wedding! It was impossible to believe. Daniel, tall, well-built, dark-haired, peered into his reflection, critically adjusting the tie on his new suit. Perfect. The suit fit like a glove. Looked brand new. Sharp suit, Mom. He turned to her sharply. The colour's cool too. And it looks expensive. It cost even more, flashed through Eleanor's mind, but aloud she said something completely different. I'm glad I pleased you, son. I'll cry at the wedding when I see you looking so handsome. I definitely won't be able to hold back. At the wedding? Daniel froze. His eyes widened. Mom, are you planning on going to the wedding? We agreed you wouldn't be there. We agreed. Eleanor felt a chill run down her spine. Son, I thought you were joking. What kind of joke? Daniel began pacing the room nervously, like a caged animal. Have you forgotten what Sophie's parents are like? The whole city elite will be there. You'll feel like a pauper there. I'll be on edge because of you worrying. Mom, do you want to ruin the most important day of my life? He sat beside her, took her hand, squeezed it, gently, almost affectionately. Come on, Mom, try to understand. Imagine how ridiculous you'll look against the backdrop of those dressed-up ladies. My heart will burst from the shame. Sophie and I will come see you another day, okay? We'll sit, have some tea. You can congratulate us, give us a gift. Eleanor's heart clenched with sharp, unbearable pain. Her own son, ashamed of her. So much so that he was ready to appear at his wedding like an orphan. Why would I look ridiculous? She objected in a weak voice. I booked a good hairdresser. I'll get my hair done, my nails. I'll wear a beautiful dress. What beautiful? That old blue rag you wear? Daniel roared, pacing again. Listen. He stopped abruptly in front of her. His gaze was icy. If you don't get it the nice way, I'll tell you straight. I don't want to see you at the wedding. Maybe I'm a jerk, but I'm ashamed. Ashamed that my mother is a cleaner. I won't let you disgrace me in front of Sophie's family with your pauper appearance. Understand? Eleanor sat as if struck by lightning. Not a word. Daniel silently grabbed his backpack, the garment bag with the suit, and bolted for the door. He stopped at the threshold. Once more, don't come. No one there will be happy to see you. He left. That was hours ago. Twilight deepened outside the window, and Eleanor still sat, numb, on the sofa. She was too shocked to even cry. They came later, when she turned on the light and took an old, worn album from the dresser. Her whole life. Simple. Difficult. Memories flooded back with such force they took her breath away. An old, faded photograph. A 2-year-old girl, blue-eyed, in a brightly patterned dress, clearly hand-me-down, staring intently at the camera. Beside her, a thin, strange woman. A vacant look, a foolish smile. Even in the poor photo, it was clear. The woman was drunk. Eleanor was taken away at 2.5. Her mother disappeared forever. Growing up, Eleanor didn't look for her. Why? A group photo. 10-year-old Patty with unruly golden curls. The orphanage. It wasn't easy. An exact copy of the shelters from 90s movies. Stealing, swearing, bullying. The director didn't interfere. 3 pretty girls in waitress uniforms, posing flirtatiously by the leaning sign of Roadside Cafe. After school, Eleanor didn't have a choice. Work. Waitress. The salary was small, but tips. Pretty and quick, she received generous tips. 12-hour shifts were exhausting, but she didn't give up. She liked being independent. A room in a communal apartment, bright, spacious, neighbours, an elderly couple, friendly. She had money and talent, dressing stylishly on a shoestring. Second-hand shops, alterations, restyling. A worn-out rag would become a fashionable item. A summer meadow. The woods. Happy. Laughing Eleanor in a wreath of flowers and leaves. A handsome brunette with the same wreath embracing her shoulders. Even now, years later, her heart ached. She had been working at the cafe for about a year when she met Nicholas. The cafe was packed that morning. She was rushing around like mad, and suddenly, she tripped. Spilled a glass of tomato juice on the guy by the window. A scarlet stain spread across his light shirt. Expensive. Horror. She lost her voice. Before she could recover, the owner appeared. Mr. Roberts. He started lamenting, yelling at her, threatening to fire her. Why yell like that? The guy smiled. He held out his car keys to her. Don't worry. I'm going to my parents, to the dacha. I have a clean t-shirt in the car. Could you please bring me my backpack from the back seat? I'll do it myself, Mr. Thompson. Mr. Roberts snatched the keys obligingly. This clumsy hen will just break something else in your car. Left alone with the customer, the terrified Eleanor finally managed to stammer. I'm so sorry. This is the first time this has happened to me. Honestly, I'll pay for the damage. Calm down. What damage? It's nothing, miss. By the way, what's your name? Eleanor. And I'm Nicholas. He extended his hand. Shaking it timidly, Eleanor dared to look at his face for the first time. Attractive, tall, athletic, grey, slightly mocking eyes, a charming smile. Mr. Roberts brought the backpack, offered to show him a place where he could clean himself up. Passing Eleanor, he said acidly, What are you standing around for? Shift over? She was counting the money from a couple when she heard a cheerful voice behind her. Eleanor, could you spare me a moment? She turned around. Nicholas, in a fresh blue t-shirt, was sitting at the same table. Can I order? Of course. Serving him, she felt awkward. Her cheeks burned. Mr. Roberts personally escorted Nicholas to the door. Then he winked. Don't be mad. I yelled on purpose. What if he made you pay for the shirt? It costs more than your salary. How do you know him? That's Nicholas Thompson, the mayor's son. Every dog in the city knows him. By evening, Eleanor was so tired she forgot about the morning incident. All she wanted was to get home and collapse into bed. It was dark outside. Waiting for the bus would take a long time. Suddenly, a light foreign car pulled up to the cafe. Eleanor instinctively stepped back, but recognised the car. What was the mayor's son doing here? Nicholas jumped out, took a huge bouquet from the seat, and headed straight for her. He stopped close, thrust the flowers into the bewildered girl's hands. Finished already? Sorry. I didn't know which ones you like, so just boring white roses. I promise. Later I'll only give you the ones you love. Later? She was completely confused. Why? Why? Nicholas laughed. I'm asking you out. It's a wonderful evening. Maybe we could go for a drive. Eleanor forgot she was tired. It all felt like a dream. Magical. She knew she was ready to go anywhere with him. But she remembered her appearance just in time. Old jeans, a plain t-shirt, her hair a mess. Thank you, but I'm terribly tired. I can't tonight, she said, with regret. Then tomorrow? Nicholas didn't give up. Then tomorrow, Eleanor echoed. They met the next day, and from then on they were inseparable. Love at first sight. Nicholas, an economics student, had finished his exams. They saw each other every day. In July, he took her on vacation. She didn't have a passport, so they spent 10 magical days in Sochi. Nicholas introduced her to his friends. They often went swimming, barbecuing, as a cheerful group. It was the brightest, most carefree summer. She never felt such happiness again. They were already talking about marriage. But in the fall, everything collapsed. Nicholas's cousin saw her brother on the street with a stranger. Eleanor's life turned into hell. The Thompson family, absolutely against it. Calls, insults, threats, demands to leave their boy alone. His sister showed up at the cafe, caused a scene, threw a milkshake in her face. Old ladies, by her building entrance, said some people were asking about Eleanor. Yes, there was a lady here, confirmed Mr. Arthur, her neighbour. She offered my wife and me money if we'd say you were a drug addict, a prostitute, an alcoholic. I threw that hyena out. Eleanor didn't tell Nicholas anything. She knew his student exchange programme was being decided. He was also under pressure. Worry settled in his eyes. Sometimes he looked at her intensely, but seeing her smile, he sighed with relief. 2 weeks before Nicholas's departure, the phone rang. "This is Mr. Thompson," a harsh male voice. "I'm Nicholas's father. You must break up with my son before he leaves. Tell him you have someone else. Otherwise, you'll regret it." And he hung up. Eleanor was ready to give her life for Nicholas. Give him up. She couldn't. When he flew to London, events spiralled. Mr. Roberts, bribed by the mayor, accused Eleanor of a large shortage of funds. Arrest. Shaken, she didn't arrange for a defence. She believed the truth would surface. The trial was a farce. The public defender barely stayed awake. The prosecutor was in full swing. Every day she waited for Nicholas, for salvation. But a friend told her, according to rumours, he was staying to study in England. 3 years. In prison, she learned she was expecting a child. She forbade herself from remembering the women's penal colony. Too painful. Overwhelmed with despair, she turned the page. A dark-haired, grey-eyed baby. Eleanor gently stroked the photo. What a sweet, clever little one. God alone knew what it cost to raise him alone. A year and a half later, parole. Lucky they didn't take the child away. Out of prison, a heap of problems. No one would hire her. Young, with a child, a record. Thanks to Mr. Arthur. Through his student, he helped get Daniel into nursery school. Eleanor worked tirelessly, cleaning in a restaurant, in offices in the evenings, at a car wash on weekends, sewing at night. She didn't look back at the past. It hurt. Old connections were broken. She accidentally met a friend. She told her, Mr. Roberts went bankrupt. Mayor Thompson moved to the capital, got a promotion, and his son got married a year ago. Eleanor cried all night. Then she wiped away her tears and went to wash floors. She had to raise her son, her only concern. And her joy. Daylight was breaking outside. Had she been over the album all night? She lay down, but thoughts of Daniel kept her awake. She always tried. An expensive toy, tasty food, a fashionable new outfit. She was ready to break her back, just to fulfill his wishes. If he needed a gadget, he just said so. He knew his mother would find a way. She'd take on another cleaning job somewhere. Of course, some of it was her fault. He grew up into a heartless egoist. She never complained about being tired, never took sick leave, gave him the best cuts at lunch. It's not surprising he didn't consider the cost of money. And now her own son was ashamed of her, didn't want to see her at his wedding. Look at my life, a bitter sigh. She addressed Daniel's photo on the wall. Son, for 25 years I've catered to you. This time I'll do what I want. Forgive me. She got up, took out the box with her savings, plus her salary on the card. Enough for an outfit, hairstyle, beautician. Eleanor's appearance at the registry office caused a stir. She had always looked young, and after the beauty salon, it was as if she had shed a decade. Men discreetly glanced at the slender blonde in the luxurious blue dress. During the ceremony, wiping away tears, she admired her son and his charming bride. How good it was that she came. Guests were congratulating them. Daniel discreetly made his way through the crowd to his mother. He hissed, "So my request meant nothing? You're not planning on dragging yourself to the restaurant, I hope?" "I won't drag myself," Eleanor nodded. "I saw everything I wanted to see." "Hello." A radiant Sophie, flushed with happiness, bounced up to them. "Mrs. Eleanor, you look stunning. My parents invite you to the restaurant." "Thank you, but I must go." "Go!" Sophie was indignant. "Daniel, what's going on?" "Indeed, Mom. What's the rush?" Daniel invited his mother to the restaurant with a strained smile. When it was time for the parents to offer congratulations, Eleanor took the microphone. "Children, be happy. Love each other your whole lives." There was so much genuine feeling in her short speech that the guests gave her an ovation. Coming down from the stage, she almost bumped into a tall man in an expensive suit. The face was familiar. It couldn't be. "It can't be," said Nicholas aloud, blocking her path. "Eleanor, is that really you?" "What are you doing here, Nicholas?" Eleanor couldn't believe her eyes. "The bride's father is my business partner. He invited me to the wedding. You have a handsome son." Nicholas, agitated, took her hand. "Maybe we can step over to the window and talk. Are you alone? Divorced 10 years, no children. They talked for an hour. Nicholas told her how his father had flown to him, told him Eleanor had met someone else, left for the capital with him. Shocked, Nicholas didn't believe it. He decided to ask his best friend. His friend went to the cafe. The owner and the waitresses confirmed his father's words unanimously. I almost went mad with grief then. I stayed in England. Then I came back to the capital. Dad got promoted. I got married. Happy. Not for a minute. Only when I was young, with you. How have you been? Let's not talk about sad things, Eleanor suggested. It's a wedding after all. I'll tell you everything later. And now, invite me to dance. Guests couldn't take their eyes off the beautiful, mature couple, twirling in a waltz. Daniel looked at his mother and didn't recognise her. Suddenly he thought, his mother, a very attractive woman, had given up her personal life in her youth. For him, for the first time in his life, he truly felt ashamed of himself. Then he noticed Mum was walking arm in arm with some rich-looking guy towards the exit. He caught up with them on the steps. Mum, where are you going? I'm leaving. It's what you wanted, she reminded him. Mum, I'm sorry, but where are you going with this man? With this man, I'm ready to go anywhere in the world, Eleanor admitted sincerely. By the way, meet him. This is your father. Nicholas and Daniel stared at her, stunned. After a moment of silence, Eleanor shook her head resolutely and smiled. I think the three of us have a very long and difficult conversation ahead of us.